Hey, what's up, everyone? This is FLDB with FireScoreboard, and today I'm bringing you some tips and tricks for using our overlays with StreamYard. Since the draft is right around the corner, I'll be walking you through the draft overlay specifically. First things first, let's get the StreamYard overlay set up properly. Let's head over to the FireScoreboard Draft controller. At the bottom of the page, you'll want to find the Overlay Preview section and open the StreamYard overlay. It'll pop open in a new tab. To make sure it's displaying at the recommended 1920 by 1080, right-click anywhere on the overlay and hit Inspect. Click the Device Toolbar button at the top right next to the Elements tab and go to the Dimensions dropdown. Select Edit and add a custom device. Name it PC, set it to 1920 by 1080, and click Add. Then just select it from the Dimensions dropdown. What this does is let Chrome treat that tab like a full monitor display, so StreamYard picks it up cleanly as an overlay. Now, over in StreamYard, you'll want to create a new overlay. To start, present your FireScoreboard tab, add it to the stage, and in the layout screen, add both the dynamic camera and the media slot. Select the media slot, make it full screen, and move it to the back. Then take your camera grid and align it using the camera guide on the layout. Save the layout and save it as FireScoreboard Overlay. Now select the layout. From here, you can add your cameras. Next, head back to the draft controller and turn off the camera guide to clean up those background guidelines. A quick note here, you don't have to use this overlay. You could use the main overlay, but your background will show as white behind your cameras. That is why I set up a StreamYard specific overlay with some connection to the lower third, so things will still look clean. Now, there is one downside to this option. It uses up your screen share slot. So, if you want to show other media during your stream, you need to close the draft overlay, show your content, and then reopen it. It still works, just something to be aware of. Now, there is a second option, and this is honestly the better move in my opinion, and it uses what's called a virtual camera. I'll be using OBS, which is another streaming software for this. You'll still stream through StreamYard, but the overlay runs through OBS as a virtual camera instead. I'll include a link to download the software in the description below. Open up OBS. You will see some sections which have scenes, sources, audio mixer, scene transitions, and controls. What we are going to add is a browser source. So in the sources section, click the plus button. Now add a browser. I'm going to name this StreamYard Draft Overlay. Click OK. Next, grab the overlay link from the draft controller and paste it into the URL field. Set the width and height to 1920 by 1080. Scroll down and make sure that the source is shut down when not visible, and the browser refreshes when the scene becomes active. Click OK. You should see it appear in the OBS menu above. Next, make sure your audio sources in the center are muted. Now, in the Controls section, click the Settings icon next to Start Virtual Camera. Change the output type to Source. Select your StreamYard Draft Overlay. Click OK. Now click Start Virtual Camera. Back in StreamYard, if you're on a premium subscription, you can just add a new camera and select the OBS virtual camera directly. I'm not on premium, so I'm joining as a guest in a separate browser window instead. When it asks for camera access, select the OBS virtual camera and you'll already see the overlay showing up. Click the Allow button to allow it through. One thing to keep in mind, skip the display name or at least turn off name tags since those will show up on screen during the draft. If you are using another browser, you can go ahead and minimize the browser that has the overlay on it. Once you're back in the studio, create a new layout. Remove every camera from the layout except for the overlay. Make sure the StreamYard overlay user is muted. Add the dynamic camera grid and camera slot. Make the camera slot full screen. Move it to the back. Use the camera guide to align your other cameras in the grid. Save this as FireScoreboard Overlay Virtual Cam. Now switch to it. Now re-add your cameras to the dynamic grid. And just like that, your overlay is running as a camera. One heads up, if you navigate to a new layout and come back, your cameras might rearrange. If this happens, just drag the overlay cam back to the bottom of the stage. The real advantage with the virtual camera setup is that your screen share slot is now free. So let me show you how to take advantage of that. We'll be creating another new layout. Hide everything except for the overlay, add the camera slot, and make it full screen. Then add the dynamic camera grid and size it down to the left side of the stage within the safe area. Add a media slot to fill the right side of the stage. We'll save this as FireScoreboard Overlay Media. Reactivate your cameras, swap to the layout, and now you can share a web page, like our Best Players Available board. This way, you get to keep the overlay and the lower third fully visible, giving your viewers the updates they need. And with both layouts saved, it's super easy to switch between showing the board and going back to your full screen camera view. That's it for this one. Hope this helps you get set up smooth for draft day.